Mane fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Today I want you to join me listening to what Mustapha Gbande has to say earlier ahead of the Eặrthquặke by-election. And this station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Thank you. Join me listening to what he said into detail. We'll be right back.
K101.7 Yani Mustapha Gbande ending in Komo or your Deputy General Secretary Eddie Ma NDC Amanyukono. Agemos me watching.
So Ambassador Kwame Tikase.
Majosu Yona. Na emaba unchanya de matienye. Se Amanyukono mo kwakoshia. Ena mo aye nhye se one His Excellency Reverend John Dramani Mahama Nadaroma wa ma post bia no say we youth we organize we bibia no for post no to sanete
Yo ofamenda wase am say na say makwa she bin tokuru kakra say de okusie no wa bebbo me wusie no etimi anope ye de bia na am say no ekushia party a National Executive Committee meeting. Some background big people said, okay. Now, on the Omampini, a Bibia, a novelty. The Winnie Omampini decided that he will explore human resource experience at a work party. So most, and for the first time, most of party executives right from grassroots, constituency level, national, and they are appointing one more into government. It's a different thing from the past. NDC penny na appointing. This time, most of the appointments came from 7 officers of the party, which is a good thing because Obia wako kum upon wako ahante your president.
Wako ahayo
Wako ahayo no kum akrantie no. You don't anya pe ni ekope abro abaman biedi. So but also the thinking is that political parties are as a war machine. Even though they are entities, these organizations must always be ready, functioning strong enough to be able to win any competitive race as far as elections are concerned. So they've been the consideration. Say, okay, one more, you appoint one more free party positions into government. No, saying na party no etimi enejuma na government also I do ababa mu se boa omanpanyin no ntetere man no wetimi contribute the required and expected output input to help the president fulfill his vision and build a country. Sindra koya debate in terms of the various school of thought considerations. And in the end there was a very illustrated scenario. Majority leader, I think all of us stood on that. He said, we should give it some time and think through and study the implications more. Now, I said, party no be koswa na juma na aban so atime na juma. The interesting thing is that Omanpenyi did what he did because of he said the party must be close to the grassroots. Now, regional secretary. Now, what about regional minister? You would have already served as a regional secretary. You know the region properly. You know the terrains. You know the demographics. It becomes easy for you to function as a regional secretary other than Obia, Afe ni Edeneba, or Obibisase, Bian contact coin wa he, Obibisase half a coin wa he. But you already know the ground, you would have been to all of the places. You are more familiar with the problems of the terrain. So it becomes easy. And at the political side, you would have been known by your party people when they want to assess your office. It becomes easy. And the same applies to all other positions. Functional executive and executive members. They are appointed to them. It also gives the leverage. Say, we are party officer. Say, we are na enam so wo emuja na wo ahode we na agency amampem ni ama adwuma kakra se ye na wo yen so ro ba ye betua oka ye tua oka saturday wo sori a onya aban adwuma na akoye party adwuma wo do salary be den betimi atọ fo na wo nso akoye adwuma. And so we are considering all of these scenarios. General secretary ni national chairman omo ba ya omo sini say they don't belong to any of the school of thought, but they think that we should discuss it and come to a certain conclusion with the matter. Into my instructions that the parties at the regional level should go back. Women could share constituency for women discuss it at that level, so that in our next meeting the issue will be tabled again for consideration.
Now, but when I
Madam Kakra, media men kahubi.
Na mama Sadiwi, we no a branch ka ho, afa constituency ka ho, regional na say a national nko
reach from constituency to national.
Oh, okay.
Now even the positions no kra no. And no general secretary national chairman actually mu anye appointees na affected woman. There are some category of appointments when you have received that appointment, conventionally, you ordinarily would have to resign. That is what has been happening in the past. But because these mass, novelty, we must consolidate the vision of the president in taking that decision, thereby finding ways to get the party to function properly. But who to say we are DC now, we are constituency secretary and our organizer. You are the president at that level in terms of decentralization. Who represent your opinion? It becomes practically impossible. Say, you secretary some free meeting, na secretary of this assembly meeting. So we are trying to see how the system can function well. The other school of thought are Omkasa. So we are secretary, now we are DC here. So we deputy or so I didn't know how deputy didn't function. Now on to party, you man report to mouth so that we come. So there are various scenarios here. Consider, and there are various appointments that have been considered. Maybe anything almost that because I laid between government and parties, but yeah,
okay. Now, my we are moving. And no constitution, no sanka obesa nka we de a straightforward. Said the constitution can na be yedma. And answer we novelty said the can.
One was that President Muhammad the first president. In fact, in the history of this country, what bomb what they are 20 party for the door. What reward party for baby.
Yes.
So it's one, a novelty. Two, institutions like the NDC, learning from my superiors, is not only run by constitution. The institution is a living entity. And as people continue to increase and day by day time changes, there must be policies and decisions that organs of the party can do or can take for the betterment of the entity. And this is one of such decisions. The Constitution itself mandates in cases like this, we should go back to functional executive committee meeting. mute the idea. A committee, National Chairman and General Secretary, set up committee headed by some few national executive colleagues. I want to consult to a detail and the report about and that report is required to go before National Executive Committee, which involves the region, majority members in Parliament, reps, and appointees. So it's not really a constitutional matter, but it's a matter that can be remedied with this particular procedure also. The other ones who feel that, okay, I didn't think a Yama will be a anchor. Now, in the next 1 year, election, now you a rule that we are appointee, won't mean contest the election there. By that time, you have served your term as a party executive prior to your appointment here, the amount you would have finished serving that a year. Or the party no any fee. So they are
I see. Another development where the farmer party no the ben mo be shians na mo asadwen ho na come to a conclusion.
The yes no as study see no otitine for no penny for decided given the we woman region for no money constituency for no and casa. No input to honum so that by the next 1 or 2 months I bet no. Nanka we have a vast consultative information I bet me aboa. Ama yehu babia yade asam ne beto a bebo apart.
I see. Now, Mamimra, say what the development is so a coso, war a habakun, yes, said Dr. Kwabnado for Attorney General no, and in a yan shisheye, say Sika, na ekwedi wo mo anaye o man sika no so tumi 60%. Wo man no ebegya case mu ana ebe drop case na manaka ema wono so ene nkofo kan ho na iris no maye ema ehunsema ebebrebe matese Franklin kujukura ase ana ne mu at 100%. Isan say say na tie ena afei nipa bia e ka mra so say first you must be convicted. Na ye convict we are ne mom ya kan kire say ye hold ana adin in suspension or in abeyance ne mom ye hold in abeyance no a wo want me antua te le koye bia ma case de na enu mom ene de plea bargaining process no ebe yadwuma nkobo we what to as a student of law it was saying
you see enye abrebia na ebe politics and the NPP must know that eduru baby a sabi impreduasa yede nyame so ebu ma na yeye na oye fa no ni yede nyansa e de abata ho na yede nipa ho do we have all ina nim say the banking sector clean up wa penofurata di edim no it was fraud. Not only fraud, but it was also flawed on the basis that one, banks here can afford to or banks no or my compliance problems are or no and overcoming the higher.
But there was a year a Sikafi Bank of Ghana by so capitalize it as Escano acquire Basantina or my year.
Capitalization is always good. But I'm saying, sir, the banks, we are not yet to say the banking sector cleanup was a bad decision. The way a manner they went about it.
Okay, so cleanup no bad. Saying justify the actions of the bank.
I'm not justifying, but I'm saying, sir, so uno u bank na abayan ni uka abayan triaka. Na ye say ye sika ese say wo bank no a new bank nti ye gunu na aban so ene ye obi a ode wo kapa. Do you think it's fair? Obi a ode wo ka so asa e wajuma. We have moved past this conversation. Ye nyina die tum say even the decision without considering the number of employees are displacing women and the difficulties that decision posed to people who have invested in banks, depositors, investments and kofaya, and they cannot get even their money. You have agreed.
You know, sir, Sabia, we project work cry. You say a case study of this. I know you narrow say a buying and this is Free Bank of Ghana. Ama directors and board members of a bank say you say they are on the verge of insolvency. In T sanity de among koyo and I establish say because before so you do say no omagia to say ampa there was an embezzlement of a sort. Na baby and confor when say I then the 100% nyina.
A mudie 100% nyina says to 20% to say 60% to. And no, idea this Attorney General and a answer because Attorney General a power to undertake plea bargain and also exercise a knowledge protocol discretion. Now, conversation a cool between Attorney General and a suspect. Sebia, onyambe kasai ina yenimu. Nke mahu kwany Emma Attorney General Babon Team Bekasa, it will give all of us enough basis, enough information. Okay. Run is our conclusion, but maybe you will be Samia. I believe so, but we should find a way of restituting all the owners of the banks. Now, there are other places that our government say who could restaurant now who could now baby cells can I went to me and tria. Yes, London. You have more restaurant now for in chance. Yeah, say usi can be so. So be the worker. One bezel fans. Na uwa kwambi so abeti mi ama nipa na boa. Wabua nipa no na watimi ye adwuma tia oka. You rather advance towards that progressive method no than a method that won't give you anything. Now one more case a prosecution and a jail will be who jail no does that mean the money will be paid back? But I also think that we should allow the Attorney General, who has a duty and the responsibility to explain his actions, either to the extent that he has taken that and it has a national security, a national interest matter. He should come and explain why, how, what went into the decision. Then, contribute to the discussion because at that point there is a lead information we can rely on to make commentaries. But at this point, the Attorney General has and this is not the first time such a decision has been taken. We've seen it happening from the Attorney General always. And we should be asking the Attorney General, I've heard say Felix Earrthquacke say, said Attorney General will come out and explain that matter. And so I'm sure that it will give us enough fundamental direct information that will enable our appreciation of the issue. But I think I'm a very happy man because a crime be a befaswa that banks no you goon you did politics goon no na dunia bank the end you know other people banks me you goon. And what even gives me the evidence that decision was born out of bad faith it was captured in a fraudulent document. It was all captured in that document, sir. Senanado be president Yebegu UT Bank, Yebegu Dr. Kobne Dufo Bank, Yebegu other banks are almost a chim for na Sikano, any Sikan could be a chim for the document like that. What me say? Bank no na etiapo. And I send a hang walk up. Muba, what's me? Sadian. And I say, for an attorney general to get to this level, say what taking decision say, what the same by bet me a jow, what the same by bet me a jow. It means that all these inquiries would have been made, all these investigations would have been made, so that the attorney general is able to examine the effects of prosecution and the effects of a plea bargain. To come to this conclusion, it means that some work have gone down. And Namidi Kankas and Kiyamakwain,
okay,
Attorney General Bekasa, who have enough information to comment. Me saying, baby, Attorney General Nejuma, also Ambassador Nauti OKFME. You don't have access to all the information that has led to the conclusion of the Attorney General. I've heard people make commentaries yesterday to the extent that, a null protocol is not even good, and then why not 100%? Why not 70%? Why 60%? When the Attorney General comes to speak, and I think that when issues like this come, will be our taking his decision.
Okay.
Explaining what has gone into the issues, so that we don't drink the soup while the food is still on the fire. But my fundamental opinion is that I think that I support any decision that will help Dr. Kwabena Dufour, a very experienced former Minister of Finance of this country.
Former governor.
The track record is one of competence. Or yet, former governor of the Bank of Ghana. The track record was competence. If there's an opportunity to redeem an avoidable crisis, I think that I support that decision.
Okay. Now, Mamusa, no more castle being management. Say, most chairman general of your party, you were saying that you are also a GMPC, Ghana Post and Harbours Authority chairman. Nidia Kahuana.
Now, an offer with my elbow on the bank.
Say, we are discussing.
An offer with ya, or the may Kako discuss is as him win. And she opens here immediately. Now, said I order.
Mama Kuria Chow, Krua and Chow.
A come for crowd.
Yeah, we are quite ye. Yes, some more quite ya. I'm more prepared for by-election. Electoral Commission for day to mine. I'm not telling you any.
Oh, Wafa. So you a friend then. Ablekumanofri. The NPP for TSM. Hey, one me buya and wakotia. One me tutu wakotia. One me disi kambe kwa wakotia. As someone me can no overcome. Ye be chima no ko si simi na so me be pa acho. Me kai sa da na no person ya na me no.
Ewa heya.
Enne NPP executives ashemu kna. Womu di fertilizer tumu a womu kan yiye. So womu de nsekan ni ntuo ye be ku nipa wa akotia because womu abu nipa wa ablekuma. Enya ye see you ye de. The NPP enna mo amu MP na wewu even though so ye nua no. Womu call Congress mpo nanu ya. 1 minute silence mpo womu entimia observe it in honor of that particular individual. Now, the committee will observe 1 minute silence in honor of him because he's a young man. Now, Obia Ayewo, you are the one shouting and drumming war. Say, yeah, Baba Jamu, ye ba umbabu yang. And I got for now, one more. On table, NDC MPP a omu akotia entokwa nni wo muntem wo mu sori dabida enhwe muja na mu ahowo a mu ba be ko election wo hodo mu se mba ko hwe muja enti e ko ne akoko hwe na nkrantem be ni MPP for the akoto ho whilst we are waiting for the date say if it is say parliament through EC every declare by election that bia ye kwa akoko hwe MPP for once kind and can't in tune a woman labor corner. Woman started the car now, Womanko. You see, overcoming. NDC way and your party are threatening Wamu. And let the NPP know. Let them know, sir. The current crop of people leading the NDC are not people you threaten, intimidate, and believe that you can use bravado and all sort of shenanigans to intimidate. We constitute a threat ourselves. NPP should not have the effrontery to threaten anybody. We will go. If they declare the election, the leader of the party who is the president, the national chairman of the party, and the general secretary decides that the NDC will participate in that election. The only motive I the NDC be kwa kotiano say ye kwa kope wo cho na omo tuaba ama an NDC candidate, because akotia honum no NDC for we need MPP for so we need. So the balance of probability say any party can win is very high. But the NDC is in a possible lead because there's evidence of good governance. That is Nanado's region. MPP4 has a responsibility to go back and pinpoint to say, in fact, Atiwa, but the President Nanado free at the back of Tiano, a 1 hour drive. MPP4 would have to show 8 years and Nanado be president, and then we seen war. A whole more, you bet me a cafe. MPP party, no. Woman fast, woman the free MPP, and Nanado 8 years, no. You would have to show. Akwatia udra and Sumpo Munyabi no manum. Koko, Ukoa, most of the people there are Ewes and then the locals. And a mine in Koko Nwamuye. Koko Jumai, a good honum. What is the MPP going to say? Say a quine Wamuye or ye, and now say toilet no more see. And now factory bin no 8 years. Yabeka and another backyard in ye. One more toward the MPP, Chiria Besine, and Paswa Omunya. Kwame, there is nothing like that in Akotia MPP for the business. And I say, Brabonine Subambonia, Omudine, dear. Even as a political party, a basing in net. Near Monday, yeah, Muamu party for 8 years, I come the woman. Woman to me, 7 months in your own loose election. And to me, who say, my young grassroots, young power macho. Me and you do one more cafe. Ya buy ya mobrapa. Nemum, a chance to move yet. Not grassroots, them fancy warm. One more thing kind. And one more beaty war drums. And one more threatening for. Senior you and ye be chale. Yet, Ejinaso, Ejina Yana Swa. Yaquako yet a year, Yahe. Said ye bay election, no, Tene, election eba, Yania Kotia for betting me a dinny. That is what we are doing. Unko Power Bar, patch on our deco. Umfa Akatabin Samko. Takotia for Pentoqua. MPP4, Ebetre Womo. Takotia for a woman, woman. Ah, one for years. And Tokobia and new woman. Now, the MPP executive, top officials, Nana B, National Youth Organizer, and one more checking to one brother Kuni Power. I got here for also only a best man who are in fear.
Any Mamma was an anopay.
Yamin Sao, Masada.
Miss Mandasi. Over Mustapha Gbande, a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, and then I think one.
Thank you for making time with us once again. We really appreciate your time and say God bless you for the good work you are doing. We have more in stock and you cannot afford to miss out. Please do subscribe to keep you updated. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.